So I was thinking about my exercise plan. I've been thinking about it for days because I'm like, let's create a plan so that we start going to the gym and all this stuff, because coming out of my surgery, I wasn't allowed to exercise for about 6 weeks after it. Oh my gosh, almost a car accident right there. It's crazy. And then and so now it's been like another, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks after that, and I haven't been consistent about going back to the gym. And part of it in my brain is that I can't do more than 30% with my upper body. So my brain is like, well, why the hell would I go to the gym and do that? So, and it bothers me for some reason to not have a plan that's working my whole body. I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym to just do legs. Like, not being able to lift up the plates and put them on there because I'm not supposed to lift more than 30% with my upper body. Like, there's things that are being interfered with or making it more challenging, barriers, we'll call it, barriers to me going to the gym. And so the barriers right now feel like they outweigh the benefit of going to the gym, which is not true. It's not. The gym is a great place to be, and I would figure it out however I needed to do, and it would be really good overall with my body, for my body. But when I'm thinking about creating a plan, like, going to the gym isn't the only option that's out there for fitness that could hit my whole body in a different way. So, for example, I want to go hike Machu Picchu in either this summer or next summer, and I don't know which one. But anyway, so in order to get ready for that, I have to go out and do more hiking. So hiking is a totally viable option for full body fitness. My arms aren't going to be as involved because they're just going to be generally moving, and not increasing in difficulty level unless I start carrying weights or something like that. It's just going to be a consistent means of getting fitness in by going out and hiking for my arms. But it's really, really good for my legs, and that is within the parameters of my doctor's orders. So I was thinking about, well, okay, how do I make myself consistent, right? Because I want to create a plan that I can stick to for however long. And so that's another area that's been a barrier, because I'm like, well, is it worth it? Oh, don't pull out of there. Is it worth it for me to dive into some sort of exercise plan and then have to change it in like 4 weeks when I'm done, 3 or 4 weeks when I'm done with radiation? And my brain is like, nope, that's too big of a barrier. Like, I don't even want to start if it's not going to be enough time, which again is absolutely ridiculous, because any sort of exercise or movement is going to be good for my body, whether it's a long-term plan or a short-term plan. And so what is going to be there, like, I can start doing the hiking now and creating that routine, because my body likes to be in a routine. It likes to consistently do the same thing over and over and over again every day. And I could constantly be trying to change it, but it loves doing the same thing every day. And so one thing, to prepare for Machu Picchu, I'm going to have to do consistent hiking, like really consistent hiking. And it's not just going to be for a month, it's going to be for the next year or two at least, as I'm preparing to hike Machu Picchu. And so that feels in my brain like a very comfortable thing, a very comforting thing. I think that comes from, since I've been going through chemo and radiation and cancer treatment for this whole year, I have been very short-term plans. Like, every week something changes, every day I feel different, and it feels like extremes in a lot of what I've gone through. And so I've had a really hard time because I didn't know if the treatment was going to work. I didn't know how I was going to feel day to day. I couldn't make any long-term plans. I could only make short-term plans. And so now that I'm reaching a point where I'm about to finish radiation, my last scan looked really, really good. They're going to do another scan about 6 weeks after I finish radiation. So we'll have more information at that point about whether I have to do more treatment or whether we're just waiting, because I'm going to have regular scans after this. This cancer It's not a question of if, but when it will return is what I've been told. So I'm just going to carry on day to day, but it feels good in my body to know that I'm able to make some longer term plans. And so this sort of exercise plan can easily slide into my stuff in the gym. It will account for, I can increase or decrease my macros based on the amount or the distance of hiking that I'm doing. Because if I'm doing like a 4-mile hike per week, that's not enough of an increase in my overall activity level for me to adjust my macros. But if I'm hiking 4 or 5 days a week and they're 1 or 2 hour hikes, 3-hour hikes, whatever it might be, depending on the difficulty level of it, all of that stuff, it may impact my energy levels if I don't adjust my nutrition. So I think that's where I'm at. I think I'm going to dive into putting together a plan, like literally not just a plan of like, great, I'm going to hike 2 hikes a week, but like literally making it a plan, picking out the time in my calendar when I'm going to be doing, when I'm going to have the time for it in between having the boys and doctor's appointments, the weather outside, all that kind of stuff, but make a plan so that I can get in a couple of miles a week as I start, and then increasing those miles over time. And then as my body is allowed from physical therapy and from my doctors, all that kind of stuff, as I'm allowed to increase the amount of upper body exercise that I'm able to do and increase the difficulty level of it within their parameters, then I will start sliding that into my plan. But it's not going to be the primary source of my physical activity right at the moment. The other thing is that because of the medications that I'm taking, because of the radiation that I've had, because of the chemotherapy that I've had, all of those have the potential to impact my heart health. And so there's not really a whole lot that they can do to alleviate the increased risk of heart attack or heart failure from that. The only thing that I can do is physical fitness and nutrition. And so for me, it's too important to me that I be able to live and to experience my kids growing up, to experience my partner, and like our life together, to be able to experience all of those things with my friends that we've talked about for years and my family and all of that, to be able to have all of the life experiences. I want to freaking have a wedding, like all of those things, vacations, all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to live and to experience that. And so I will do day to day everything that I possibly can to make sure that my body is healthy, that I'm taking care of it so that it functions well and that I feel good every single day. It's too important not to.